perception management, or really it's just advertising, government relations by another name. It really sounds a lot worse than it is. It sounds like the Manchurian candidate.
To me, it sounds like somebody lobbying to keep the war effort going.
Well, they're going to be doing that regardless of what other hat they wear, because that's their job to advocate for their program. The problem, though, is that the message they're trying to send to the Taliban is the Americans are going to stay forever. And the message you're sending to the Congress is we're going to be pulling out pretty soon now. Now, it's hard enough to keep those two messages in sync with each other, but when you've got the same guys telling one story in the morning and the opposite story in the afternoon, that's just a bit much to bear.
But what does this mean for President Obama's AFPAC strategy? Does it help him in terms of getting out of Afghanistan eventually, or does it undermine his strategy? And it seems like the military and the politics is getting a little kind of cloudy here. Somebody seems to have crossed the line.
I think that it undermines it because it undermines the credibility of one of the leading commanders over there, because it demonstrates very bad judgment on his part in having his propaganda people brief congressional staff. Now, congressional and senators, they know that they're being fed a story when they go over there, but I mean, let's at least have the government relations people tell them the good news rather than having the propaganda people tell them the good news. It simply fails to pass the Washington smell test.
But why would they want to continue to sort of lobby to keep the war going?
Well, they think that it's working, and they think that if we stay the course, eventually we'll wind up with something that's describable as victory. I think that the concern on the part of the American military is that the United States did not lose, their view is the United States did not lose.
So the implicit message is if you don't give more money to this war,
it's going to be another Vietnam. It's going to be another Vietnam.
Losing it, and that's all that matters, that we have to win.
That's right. That's right.
And that's it for now from Washington. Now back to Doha.
All right, Daljeet, thank you for that. Well, here's what's coming up on the Al Jazeera News Hour. As world tennis #1 Caroline Wozniacki fights for her place in the last four in Qatar. That's coming up. The sports with Zoe. Stay tuned. It's over to Zoe now with all the sports news.
Thanks very much. Liverpool is safely into the last 16 of the Europa League, but they left it late to seal a 1-0 win over Sparta Prague. Dirk Kuyt's header 4 minutes from time was enough to put them through. Rangers scraped through on the away goals rule. A 4-3 aggregate win for Sparta Moscow was enough to secure their progress. 3 second-half goals put Dutch side PSV Eindhoven into the last 16, and positive results for Manchester City and Villarreal see them through. Now to the Cricket World Cup, where the sport's governing body, the ICC, has criticised the tournament's organising committee for causing a public relations disaster that has undermined the event. Several cricket fans were injured after clashing with police outside a stadium in Bangalore. They've been waiting to buy tickets for India's high-profile match against England on Sunday, but when the public allocation of between 7,000 and 8,000 tickets had all gone by late morning, the crowds vented their frustration on the police, who hit back with bamboo sticks. Questions have been raised over the distribution of tickets and why so few were available to the public for a 50,000-seater stadium. On the pitch, South Africa have underlined their status as one of the favourites to win the tournament. A century from AB de Villiers helped them beat the West Indies by 7 wickets in their opening group game. Andy Richardson reports from New Delhi.
Echoes of another World Cup could be heard in New Delhi ahead of this match between South Africa and the West Indies. Local supporters had seen no international cricket in more than a year prior to this fixture. A dangerous playing surface had resulted in the venue being temporarily banned from hosting games. South Africa hoped opening with spin would exploit any devils in the pitch, and Johan Botha dismissed Chris Gayle in the very first over. Darren Bravo's innings of 73 got the West Indies right back into the game, while 4 wickets on debut from Pakistan-born Imran Tahir ensured the game never got away from South Africa. Dwayne Bravo also took his turn to hit out for the Windies until some hapless running saw him depart for 40. The West Indies subsiding to a below-par total of 222 all out. In reply, South Africa did lose quick wickets. There followed, though, a 100 partnership between Graham Smith and AB de Villiers. De Villiers duly scored a match-winning 100. He finished unbeaten on 107 as South Africa eased to victory by 7 wickets.
So a winning start for South Africa, and in Imran Tahir, they look to have found yet another match-winning bowling option. The problems continue for the West Indies, though. That is their 26th consecutive ODI loss against Test-playing nations. Their stated ambition of reaching the quarter-finals already looks ambitious. Andy Richardson, AlJazeera, New Delhi.
Well, South Africa captain Graham Smith was pleased with his side's performance.
We try to mix it up as much as possible, you know, chopped and changed. The guys bowled really well, we fielded well through that middle period also. Once we picked up 1 wicket, we were able to create a lot of pressure on the new batter.
Very, very happy with my innings, obviously. I wasn't timing it in the nets in the last week, but luckily it came together tonight, and I guess that's when it matters most.
A few positives in the batting. Young Bravo batted quite well for us, so that's he continues to bat well. So hopefully we'll go back, look at the drawing board and come better against the Netherlands.
While defending champions Australia will play New Zealand in their second group match on Friday. But the game in Nepal has been overshadowed by the earthquake that hit the New Zealand city of Christchurch on Tuesday. Australian captain Ricky Ponting says the 2 teams will be putting their sporting rivalries to one side to support their New Zealand brothers.
Look, I believe tomorrow, as an Australian cricket team, we need to show whatever respect that we can and do whatever we can to help people that have been affected by it all. We'll wear black armbands out of respect tomorrow. I'll speak to Dan Vittori at the toss tomorrow morning as well, and we'll have a minute's silence, I believe, before the game. So, look, a lot of that stuff is really small little areas that we can try and help out as 2 national cricket teams. And as we know, we're you know, neighbours, and we sort of treat each other as brothers, and we'll make sure we do that tomorrow.
Well,